What happens when a balloon meets a needle? Pops instantly. But this story, it isn't really about balloons and needles. It's about dreams and doubt, about the voices that try to lift us and the ones that try to tear us down. It's a story about you. Once there was a little red balloon. It didn't know how high it could go, but something inside kept whispering, "Rise." The wind nudged it upward. The sky opened wide. The sun warmed its surface, and the balloon floated higher and higher, felt light, felt free, and it began to dream of reaching the stars, of seeing the world from above, of touching the impossible. But down below, hidden in the shadows, was a needle, sharp, cold, still. It didn't move, it didn't rise, it didn't dream, it just waited. And when it saw the balloon drifting overhead, it whispered, "You're full of nothing. You're just air. You'll never make it. You're weak, fragile. Come too close to the real world and you'll pop." The balloon paused. Those words, they stung. Maybe the needle was right. What if it was just air? What if it didn't belong up there? What if it was pretending? Slowly, the balloon began to sink. Not because the wind stopped, not because the sun faded, but because it started to believe the needle. That's how doubt works. It doesn't have to touch you to hurt you. It just needs you to listen. The needle didn't move an inch. It didn't reach up. It didn't chase the balloon. It simply waited for the balloon to come down. But just before it got too close, the balloon remembered the sky. It remembered the feeling of rising, of freedom, of warmth. It remembered the dream. And most of all, it realized something. The needle couldn't fly. It had never flown. It had never seen the stars. It only knew how to bring others down, because it had never learned how to rise. The balloon looked down one last time, and it rose, higher than ever before, past the clouds, past the doubt, into the stars, because it finally understood. It was never just air. It was potential. It was purpose. It was vision, strength, and hope wrapped in red. And the needle stayed right where it had always been, on the ground, bitter, sharp, but powerless. You see, in life there will always be needles. People who point, laugh, doubt, try to bring you down. They don't do it because you're weak. They do it because they've forgotten how to rise, and they can't stand to see you fly. But you're not here to be popped. You're not here to stay tied to the ground. You're here to rise, to lift, to dream, to become everything you were made to be. So don't listen to the voices that try to deflate your belief. Don't give your power to people who are afraid of their own. You are not full of air. You're full of something far greater. Fire, purpose, possibility. So go, rise. Even if the world says you can't. Even if the needle waits below. Rise anyway, because you were never meant to break. You were born to soar.